Hello everybody and welcome to Game 1 of the Victorian Youth Championship Women Grand Final Series. We've got Ringwood versus Sandringham. We're at the rings. My name's Matt Hickey. I'm joined by coach of the Youth Champ Men, Russell Lee. How are you going today, Russ?
I'm well, Hickey. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks, mate. It's a chilly day out here in the suburbs, but I'm excited. Ringwood have made the Grand Final after coming from third position in the Watson Conference, whereas Sandringham, number 1 in the Terrell Conference, and have climbed their way into this Grand Final Series. What are you expecting for this big game, Russ?
Oh, look, Ringwood are playing excellent basketball under Rob Dielemans at the moment. They have been an absolute juggernaut heading into finals action, taking out teams seeded in the top of pools. Knocking off Dandenong last weekend was huge, having only lost one game for the entire season. So in terms of continuing those upsets, I have no doubt that Ringwood could do the damage and get the first win on their home floor.
So just a quick run through of how the teams got there. As Russell mentioned, the Hawks defeated Nunawading in the first round and then got past Dandenong, gave them just their second loss for the season in the semi-final. And this will be their first final at home. They've played every other game away from home at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how they go returning on their home floor. For the Sabres, well, they defeated Bendigo and then they defeated Melbourne, both at home, so this is their first game away. And they've breezed through. Sandringham have played some terrific basketball. During the regular season, Ringwood finished with a record of 16-6, the Sabres 17-5. So not too dissimilar in the regular season. Last time they met, it was here at the rings. That was way back in round 6. There were some different names not playing, different names playing, but the Hawks got the chocolates in that one, defeating the Sabres by 7 points. It's getting exciting. I'm getting amped up. Finals time, always exciting around the Big V. A couple surprise results as we've come through, and Ringwood have been the surprise packets. Sabres probably the favourites heading into this one. I'm going to go to you early here, Russell. I want a tip from you straight away, mate.
Well, I'll always go the home side in a grand final series, so I'm tipping Ringwood today.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards that way as well. A couple of players to watch out for both teams. For the Sabres, you've got the likes of Morgan Riley, who averages 13.8 points a game. She's number 12 in the orange. You've also got Katie Budgeon, who averages 10.9 points a game. She's number 8 for the Sabres. Keep an eye on Ella Badish as well, who's had a very good final series for the Sabres. She is, of course, number 20. And then we move over to Ringwood side of things. A wide spread of points. You've got Rebecca Noah, 12 points per game. She's a very impressive player, was excellent against Nunawading. She is number 15 for the Green Ringwood Hawks. You've also got Nahira Ravikumar, who puts points in bunches. Last time these two teams met, she had 23 points for the Hawks. Watch out for her. She launches it. She's very trigger happy, but when she gets going, she's very dangerous. She is number 6. And then you've got the double machine in Rachel Watson. Early on in the year was one of the player of the months for one of the months during the regular season. And then you've also got Kelly Romas, who's been swinging up and down with the champ women, I believe.
Yeah, too true, Hickey. Rob's done a great job developing his girls across the last couple of years, and credit to him, his team. There are a number of girls swinging up to the champ women across this year and making a real impact. Unfortunately, the champ women got done last night on the road in their finals campaign at Knox, but featuring some of our youth women in that champ team. Very exciting for the future of the club.
100% correct in that regard there, Russell. So we're about a minute away from tip-off. We'll also keep you up to date with the Championship men's side of things, which is also happening. I believe they start at 12 as well. I could be...
Championship men have the week off after finishing on top.
No, sorry, I mean Victorian Youth Championship men.
Victorian Youth Championship men. They start their game at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. So we'll keep you with score updates throughout that one as well.
At the Graveyard, Nunawading hosting the first game against Kilsyth.
And a fun fact for everyone at home, Rob Dielemans, who coaches the Hawks here today, his son plays for Kilsyth, who will be in that Victorian Youth Championship men grand final as well. For everybody at home, this is the first and only game that the Ringwood Hawks will play at home in this grand final series. The next 2 games, if necessary, will be played at Sandringham. As the crowd begins to build, there's a couple spaces though in the car park, so if you're feeling like getting down, I reckon you can get here by the first quarter easily and enjoy some terrific women's basketball.
Absolutely. 14.1 degrees, as you pointed out. A little bit cool in this gym as it is during the winter. Many of the Hawks families will understand that.
14.1 is generous. I'd predict a lot lower than that. That is a generous temperature gauge there.
We're generous at the Ringwood Hawks.
So starting lineups for the Hawks, you've got Ravi Kumar, Watson, Pippa Goldie, you've got number 13, Abby Lloyd, and you've also got Kelly Romas. Rebecca Noll starting on the bench. For the Sabres, you've got Badish, Hicks, Munn, Pryor, and Shea. We're just about to get going here. Expect nerves. Expect a bit of a rough start.
Well, you can definitely speak from experience there, Hickey, after playing in a grand final last year. I know the coaching staff, but more importantly the players, will be feeling it. And these first few minutes are very important to calm those nerves and get a good start.
So a harsh contest, a grand final contest, and they're going to jump ball again because they were unsure who it was out on, and straight away the attack on the ball. Let's go around again. Let's see who wins the tip this time. It is Sandringham, and they will come away with it. Kicks over to Shea, Isabel Shea. She's looking for an option as they run through their offense. Ball comes over to the 45. Handoff high, not much doing at the moment. The Sabres launch a shot, and that is an air ball from Courtney Munn. And there, straight away, the nerves that we were talking about. A bit of a rushed offence from the Sabres.
Yeah, a little bit rushed, but a great defence. Good ball denial from Ringwood. Great tempo to start the game.
Goldie runs the show, goes backdoor to Ravi Kumar. Up fake, great drive, floater, no good, hard off the glass. Unlucky on that occasion was Kelly Romas. And now Sandringham bring the ball up, and there is a foul underneath the basket. It was Mel Pryor who drew it. The foul will be on Abby Lloyd, I believe. So it'll be a baseline out of bounds for the Sabres. They've got 19 on the shot clock, so a long time. As there's the quick trigger, bang, no need for the clock. And Chloe Hicks gets us underway here in Game 1 of the Vic Youth Championship Women Grand Final. The general out on court there, Goldie. Hand off. Looking for options, down to 10 on the clock. Up fake, kick to the corner. Baseline drive was nice. Hook shot, not so much. And away come the Sabres.
Might have missed a violation there, hitting the iron above the rim.
Great pass. Oh, missed the point blank. Missed it again. The nerves are definitely playing a factor. And then a bank shot in. Well, it doesn't matter how they go in, Russ, as long as they go in, Isabel Shea.
Two right, Hickey. Two important baskets to start the game. Now it's time for Ringwood to respond.
Ball over with Ravi Kumar. Goes to Goldie. They're down to 10 seconds on the shot clock once again. Low post feed wasn't there. Kick over. 6-5. Nice up fake. Lovely bit of play. Indeed from Abby Lloyd. Makes up for her earlier mistake. And it gets Ringwood on the board.
Yeah, great patient offence there by Abby. Excellent finish. That short corner jumper.
Drive to the hoop was good. Fight for the offensive rebound. Comes away with it out of bounds, and it will be a Ringwood Hawks ball. The crowd starting to get into it. This is what we like to see. 2 minutes in. So as we've seen early, the Ringwood Hawks happy to take their time in offense. Don't feel like they need to rush anything. Goldie to Ravi Kumar. There's an on-ball screen. Tries to split the double team, and it's a charge against Nahira Radhakumar. And it'll be a Sandringham side ball.
Yeah, good physicality, intensity to start the game. A couple of girls already hitting the deck.
So the Sabres looking to get on with things here. Ball at the 45, there's a low post seal. Doesn't go to Alabadish on this occasion. She comes across the low pick to get it again, and here we go. Alabadish in the low block versus Watson. The matchup we've all been wanting to see. And Watson wins the first battle.
Yeah, excellent post move, ball reverse. Just could not get that roll into the bucket.
At what stage is a loose ball? They get it again. Ringwood down to 10 again on the shot clock. Great pass. Watson may have been a travel, but the right-hand hook shot was beautiful.
Excellent cut on that baseline drive. Exactly what your bigs should be doing in that set.
And that is why coaches do not want to see the opposition drive baseline, because it opens up so many avenues to the basket. On-ball pick, looking for the roll, some great defense. It ends up getting there. Nice fake, a bit of a hook, a bit of a chicken wing, The umpires didn't see it, and Mel Pryor scores 2.
Rob Dielemans also demonstrating that hook to the referees, but to no avail.
Goldie with the floater, not quite, not a bad look. As we see Sandringham, pretty much anybody happy to dribble down the court for them. Badish in the low block. It's a loose pass, but it gets there. Shouts of travel from the crowd. Great pass. That's a wide open elbow jumper. Ooh, bricked it. And away come Ringwood. Can they get a transition basket here? Yeah. Ravi Kumar, great pass from Romus, I believe.
Excellent running out of defence as soon as she'd realised one of her teammates had grabbed the ball. Great job.
Some great on-court defensive pressure from Pippa Goldie on that occasion. Goes down to Badish. Looks to go baseline. Nobody really doing it. Another loose pass down to 5 on the shot clock. They've got to jack one up in the key, and that's a bailout call. Was probably there as Abby Lloyd had wrapped up Mel Pryor on that occasion. So we're about 4 minutes through the first quarter. 6 points apiece. Keep an eye on Ringwood Hawks. They have 3 team fouls, 2 more, and Sandringham will be in the bonus. Inbound play. Badish thought about the jumper, drives, left hand, great defense from Watson, but a travel is called. Some great defense again from Watson. That's twice in a row she's put the clamps on Badish, and now we see Dielemans pulls the trigger, brings on Rebecca Nola. Abby Lloyd steps off. Both teams feeling each other out here. Who will take the early ascendancy? Goldie once again running the show. Goes into Ravi Kumar. Nola with the crossover. Left hand shot. That was tough. Watson tried to get the offensive board. She's very good at that. Couldn't get it on that occasion. A clear want to get it into the low block. And it turns out well for Mel Pryor. Sandringham with a definite low post focus to start the game here, Russell.
Absolutely, Hickey. They're that high-low pass, girls sealing immediately to try and get quick looks in transition. And Nola's had an impact straight away coming off the bench. Great slash to the bucket, left-hand finish.
Doesn't necessarily look like she's doing it that quickly, but she always finds a way to get to the basket, as that is a brick off the side of the backboard from the corner. Again, Sandringham come up with it, so the Hawks will need to work on those offensive rebounds. Short. There's another one, just as I say it. Shot clock resets to 14. Low post entry again to Pryor. She's been in there for a while, and Watson came over the top. And that is the 4th team foul for Ringwood. One more, and the Sabres will go to the line. Yeah,
4 fouls to zip, and you mentioned it, Hickey, that those O-boards are really proving difficult for Ringwood to stop at the moment. It is going to have to be one of the factors that Dielemans talks about his next time out. Make sure that's not a trend for the rest of the game.
So we've already seen one score from a baseline play for the Sabres. Let's see what they do on this occasion. They got down at single digits on the shot clock. Calling for a screen. They were a bit slow getting there. Kicks to the wing. 45 triple is short on that occasion from Kate Budgeon. Bounce pass was not the one from Ravi Kumar. Right idea, but they just weren't on the same page. So we see Goldie step out. In comes Amy Leslie for the Hawks, number 10. So it's Mo Lyth running the show for the Sabres. On-ball screen comes from Badish. Looking to get that mismatch down low, and just indecision on that occasion from Budgeon.
Good defence again by Ringwood. They've started the game exceptionally well defensively.
Ravi Kumar looking for the handoff. Great attack on the ring. Some great ball movement here from the Hawks, but that was probably not the option.
No.
Trying to force it down low to Watson on that occasion.
Good waves action in their offence, just not the right option on that occasion.
So neither team really taking advantage of the other's mistakes at this point. Screen comes again from Badish. Great pass and a great finish. That was excellent from Lyth. Looked like she was about to pull up for the jumper, but just lobbed it over to Badish, who finished with the 2.
It's definitely a height advantage there for Badish, and good roll to the bucket, extended arm, giving them a target, and great finish.
So once again, the Hawks taking their time. That right to left crossover from Rebecca Nola, and it looked like not bad defense, but she'll go to the line to shoot two. The first team foul on the Sabres. Does love that move though, doesn't she? That right to left crossover, attacking on the left hand.
Absolutely. And she's gotten to space a couple of times in a row now. They had to have that help defence come across, and she was able to take advantage and draw a foul. Not going to the line though, it looks like a side ball.
So Badish steps off, Cassie Hill comes in for the Sabres. We've got a tick over 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. A defensive grind, as you expect in grand finals. Tough move from Watson. Gets the offensive rebound, just plucked it to Ravi Kumar short. She follows her own shot, and now the Hawks getting on the offensive rebounds.
Yeah, Sandringham won't be too happy with that. That's been their focus to begin the game, but 2 O boards in a row.
And there's that travel call that we see a bit these days as you go to take off, lifting the pivot foot. But those offensive rebounds from the Hawks were all hustle. It wasn't necessarily height advantage or anything like that, just hustle, wanted the ball more on those occasions. Double screen off found, Lythe on the baseline, kick was just one too many, should probably go up on that.
Ringwood can't lose their players there, 13 seconds on the shot clock, baseline ball. Let's see what Sandringham can get out of this.
Can they go up by more than one basket? That is the question. The Sabres look like a travel. Shouts from the crowd, gets her own rebound. Wide open jump shot, short again. It hasn't been a great day from the outside, but that time very well done indeed from Kate Budgeon. She's been active since coming onto the floor.
2 right, Hickey, and it's those second, third efforts again from Sandringham that are getting on those conversions, and now a 4-point lead to the Sabres.
So down to single digits on the shot clock, and a turnover and then a foul, and it'll be 2 free throws. A shocking bit of play for Ringwood. Just exactly what they didn't want heading into the quarter time break. Turnover and straight away a bailout to the free throw line for the Sabres.
Nahara a little bit upset with herself. You know, I don't entirely think that was her fault. Not the best pass coming to her on the wing, but she's committed the foul. Whether it be one of those upset fouls that you get as players sometimes, or just an incidental contact, probably need to have a look at it again, but keep her head up. It's a long game, plenty of time to go.
The second free throw is good, and then a substitution for the shooter. So Shea goes off, on steps Morgan Riley onto the court. 2:14 left in the first quarter.
Forward pressure here by Sandringham.
Just a bit of token pressure, just to take some time off the clock. Important stages here for Ringwood. They don't want to let this lead get out to too many more than 5 points, as we see Goldie forces her way to the ring, draws a foul, will shoot free throws, you would assume.
I'd say so at this stage. Be good to see the Hawks have a look at Rachel Watson now, especially with Badish sitting down. It could be a nice mismatch down low for the Hawks.
The Sabres do seem to quickly want to double Watson if she catches in the low block. They understand that she can get going very quickly.
Absolutely.
And even if she doesn't make it on the first attempt, she can easily get a second or third, as we saw earlier.
That's right, yeah. Very active on the boards and very patient, well thought out offence from her in the post.
Pull-up jumper is long off back iron. Kick back out, another offensive rebound of the Sabres. And that was a out-of-bounds call, this time on Budgeon.
All too common for players catching it in that short corner beyond the 3.
It's that little step backwards.
That's exactly right.
So once again, they want to get it out of Goldie's hands by the looks of things. They don't want her running the show for the Hawks. It's a 4-point lead at the moment to the Sabres. There's that low post feed you were talking about, Russ. Up and under, tough shot.
Unlucky not to get a call there.
Was a lot of contact in the low block from Watson on the receiving end. Lythe pulls up at the elbow. That was a nice looking jumper. Not quite. Offensive rebound again. The Sabres are everywhere, and then a travel is called. So struggling to take advantage of all those second and third chance opportunities that the Sabres are getting. It's a 4-point lead to their advantage at this point, but could easily be more. As we see Goldie attack the ring, and when she gets downhill like that, and you hear them talking about it a lot in a lot of different competitions when certain players, you take LeBron James for example, if he takes that step back, gets down on the runway going downhill on you, it's very hard to stop, and Goldie did exactly that on that occasion.
Yeah. Bob's done a great job there. You do what your point guard is expected to do on the floor and create contact, make sure we'll be able to ice shots from the line, especially when teams might be in foul trouble or in a situation where referees may look to even up the foul count in a particular quarter. She's done a good job.
Very confident from you there, Russell. You have said ice it from the free throw line, potentially putting the mocker on her, but she's knocked down both. Safe to skin there. Just be wary, be wary.
I'm always wary of things like that. I'm not Tony Miller, one of our former assistants at Youth League. Every time he used to say it, players used to stuff it up, but I don't carry the curse that Tony does.
As we see down the other end, Cassie Hill got the offensive rebound without jumping, just put it straight back up and in as easy as you like. Up and under, and again, another 2 free throws. So the foul count evening up as Ringwood attack the rim.
Incredibly quick off the dribble there, Piper. And again, stepping around one defender, someone else steps across, and she's drawing contact each time. Now her 3rd trip to the line, 5th and 6th free throws here.
So an interesting call from Dealmans here, putting Ravi Kumar back on the floor with 2 personal fouls. Only 45 seconds left to go in the quarter. You normally thought that you'd just wait until the start of the next period, but Dealman's happy to roll the dice, realises it's important early on. Lob pass, and there straight away it's paid off that decision. Ravi Kumar with the steal.
Look for a 2-for-1 situation here, or the girls run a patient offence, do you think?
Well, there's the steal right back, but I think it's going to go out of bounds. Great job and effort to save. Now, does the shot clock reset? I think it might.
They've done that, but I dispute that Sandringham had control of the ball there. 9 seconds was left before they reset it, and if I was a Sandringham coach, I might be a little bit upset with that. They can now more or less hold it for 1 with very little differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
And Coach Joe Wood is asking the question of the umpire as she ran past, believing it should only have been 9 seconds. But it doesn't matter in the long run because Sandringham are going to get a shot to end it anyways. Goes the up and under, count the points, and 1. Cassie Hill, big basket heading into the quarter time break, and she will head to the free throw line and look to make it a 6-point ball game.
5.2 left on the clock for Ringwood, providing they're able to get the O board, of course.
As we see Dealmans yelling out to his players, why would you give them that time difference on it? Shoot the last shot. They didn't. 2, 1. Kumar, not quite. Only a couple weeks ago she did launch one from half court and nail it, but couldn't do it on this occasion. 6-point ball game. The Sabres lead at quarter time. Thoughts on the first period, Russ?
Well, look, high intensity from both teams. A bit of physicality in there, as we talked about earlier on in the piece. You could definitely see some nerves from both sides, in particular Sandringham with those perimeter shots, a couple of air balls in there. There's absolutely no doubt that Rob will be talking to his girls about keeping Sandringham off those offensive boards. 6 points in it, but the margin could be a lot worse from Ringwood's point of view had Sandringham been able to convert all the opportunities they'd created for themselves.
They have 10 offensive rebounds and just 7 defensive rebounds, the Sabres, so that is an incredible stat that you don't see very often. Of their 17 boards, 10 have been offensive at this stage.
Yeah, 8 of 23 from the field at 34% for Sandringham versus 30%, 4 of 13 for Ringwood. So the number of field goal attempts for Sandringham far exceeding that of Ringwood. Ringwood have done a good job, icing from the line as we talked about, especially from Piper, but they will need to stop the bleeding of those O boards to stay in this game.
And you would have to think that the Sabres have probably bailed out Ringwood a little bit. They've only scored 6 second chance points, which isn't many at all. We'll run through some of the individual player stats for you now. For the Sabres off the bench, Cassie Hill has 5 points off the bench. She's been very good. That was in just 3 minutes and 19 seconds of play. Very impressive from her. 4 points to Pryor, number 14, and the captain, Shea, has 3 points. We go over to Ringwood's side of things. Goldie, 4 points, all from the free throw line. Ravi Kumar, 2 points, 2 rebounds. a steal and 3 turnovers. She's been very active early, getting amongst it. And then coming off the bench, Rebecca Nola, 2 points in just 5 minutes. So the story of the game so far, definitely those second chance opportunities.
I think Nahara probably a little bit unlucky to have 3 turnovers recorded against her name. Not sure they were all her fault, but can be the way it goes in terms of the stats.
So, as the guest here, Russell, I think it's only fair that I give you the opportunity to change your tip if you want.
No. Look, I do believe Ringwood are going to win today. They have shown signs of patient offence, well-executed offence, which we know Rob is well known for. Give them a chance to get back in this game. 6 points, not a lot. Give them that opportunity to stop Sandringham from dominating those O boards, and I think we'll have a very hot contest for the next 3 quarters.
Very well put indeed, Russell. So we enter the second quarter. The Hawks will start with the ball. They trail by 6 points, and we are underway. There is the high post entry, kick back over to the wing, and there's a double screen for Ravi Kumar. A lot of movement here from the Hawks, which is good to see, and just a little hand check foul, and I think it'll be 2. So the umpire's potentially looking to clamp down here, make sure this game doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, set play there for Nahara. Really, really good job. Obviously, that double screen coming up to true point. She's got that 3-point shot, or if they're able to recover and close out hard like they did, she puts it to the floor and looks to get to the rim.
And the first free throw is good. We also see Georgia Parnaby in for her first minutes for the Hawks. That's number 9. Second free throw misses, and it is a 5-point ball game. Away come the Sabres. Straight away, that is a fantastic pass and a great finish again from Cassie Hill, and just napping on defense on that occasion. I think Rob Dillmans is going to look to swing the changes straight away. Just can't let those easy baskets go in a grand final, let alone in any game. But when they're so hard to come by, you cannot let them be that easy. As we see an offensive foul called on Parnaby.
Yeah, unfortunately Parnaby lent into that. So right call there by the referee.
Substitution on the floor. Leslie comes off. On comes Kelly Romas. Some great defensive pressure, as you're about to say there, Russell.
Yeah, and Ringwood are rewarded, have turned the ball over, look to get back in transition, but will now run a set.
Some contact on the ball handler there, not called. Romas will look to attack, got to the spot. Jump shot isn't quite good. Ravi Kumar contesting, great fight, doesn't want to give away a foul, didn't. Ball still loose. Sandringham take it away. Great fight from both teams on that occasion. Oh, Hill was wide open. Instead it goes the cross-court pass. Not quite. And the rebound to Abby Lloyd. And away come the Hawks. As we see Alabadish looking to sub back in at the next whistle. Here's Parnaby. Tries to go the little baseline bounce pass. Doesn't come off. And away come the Sabres in transition again. Great hands on that occasion though from Kelly Romas. And then draws the foul. So a great bit of play from Kelly Romas.
Yeah, exceptional bit of play there from Kelly. Almost a 3-1 situation, and she's managed to steal the ball from a very high percentage conversion possibility.
As we see Budgeton come off, and on comes Alabadish. So Hawks with the ball. Just about 2 minutes gone here in the second period, yet to get on the board. They've got 4 on the shot clock. They've got to get a shot up. Goldie pulls the trigger. Not quite. Great box out on that occasion from Cassie Hill. She's putting in some great minutes here for Joe Wood. They look to go to Badish straight away. Goes baseline. Lloyd goes down. No foul call. And fine. No, an outside shot doesn't go, and it'll be a Sandringham ball.
I expect Badish to be the focus of Sandringham now that she's checked back in.
And maybe just a little warning from the umpire out there to Abby Lloyd about taking the hit. Not sure. There was another bit of play off the ball that the Hawks bench wasn't happy with. This game, maybe a little bit of spite in there now here. As we see Parnaby really suffering the consequences of the hit off the ball. Umpires didn't seem to pick up on it. As we see Parnaby's even going to have to take a substitution off.
Looks as if Hickey there, she's actually winded, hunched over, having a little bit of trouble breathing.
One of the worst feelings in sport, I think. One of the worst. Short-term injury, you get over it in 20 seconds, but it feels like about a minute that you can't get any oxygen into those lungs.
Very true.
And Dealmans was not happy with the umpiring on that occasion. And that will be a Ringwood Hawks ball. Parnaby really struggling over there on the side. And a timeout called to Dealmans. And a little bit of a glare to the umpires. Not pleased with the treatment of his players. And it could be justifiable.
Yeah, quite often when one of your teammates goes down, injured or otherwise, it can be a massive motivating factor for a team. So the fact that something's occurred where a teammate has gone down and is hurt, girls will want to rally behind that teammate and make sure they get one for her.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens coming out of this timeout, whether the Hawks will come out fired up and what the refs will do. They will no doubt be keeping an eye on the physicality now after that incident has occurred. Looked like just an elbow into the midriff section there, but definitely took the wind out of Georgia Parnaby's sails on that occasion.
Yeah, well, she's standing up now on the opposite side, looking like she's in a bit of elevated spirits, which is good to see. Hopefully she can check back in a few minutes.
So a 7-point ball game, 7.5 to play here in the second term. And a really important little stretch here coming out of a timeout. Both teams potentially fired up. The Hawks especially, as they see one of their players go down for an off-the-ball incident. As we see Nola goes down low to Lloyd, looks to go baseline, and it is a foul call on Alabadish. Don't be surprised if the refs call a lot of little touch fouls here just to take some of the spite out of the game.
Yeah, Lloyd just there, way too quick for Badish. Didn't have time to recover. Nice out-of-bounds play there.
Ravi Kumar, step-back jump shot, not quite. And Goldie, the smallest player on the court, somehow comes up with the offensive rebound. Great pass, and Ravi Kumar finishes. Some brilliant play for the Hawks, and the crowd getting into the game now.
Nahara just does not stop running. Doesn't matter that she's put a shot up. Saw that her teammate got the O board and has made a hard cut to the bucket and was rewarded.
Great defense from Rebecca Nola. She goes down though. Maybe a finger to the eye on that occasion. It was unclear. Looked like the follow through after she got the block shot. She is still down at the moment, and the refs are going to halt the play.
Yeah, it doesn't look good there, Hickey. She's still down. Grabbed her face straight away. I agree with you. Maybe it was a finger to the eye.
So another little stop in play here as we see Rebecca Nola with the coaches.
Both teams forming huddles to have a bit of a chat as staff tend to Nola on the floor. Referees coming together to have a conversation about maybe what went on also.
Definitely an innocuous play. There was no intent in that whatsoever. Just a follow through on the shot and looked like a poke in the eye.
Unfortunately happens in our game. Very uncomfortable that sort of shot can be.
So Nola still down at this point as we take another couple minutes. 6:41 left here in the second quarter. It is the Sabres 20 to Ringwood Hawks 15. So in 3.5 minutes, only 5 points scored at this point. So once again, that defensive grind is
very, very true. Ringwood shooting 29% from the field versus Sandringham's 31%. Also playing a major factor in the game in terms of conversion.
So Rebecca Nola in some serious strife by the looks of things. She gets taken into the end room there here in Ringwood. Looked a bit dizzy on her feet after that knock to the eye. So another little setback here for the Hawks. Let's see how they respond. They look to get some momentum after that timeout earlier, but potentially the wind taken out of their sails on that occasion with a big stoppage in play and one of their star players going down. On ball screen, 2 seconds. Ravi Kumar had to launch it. Not the greatest shot, but had to put it up. And here come the Sabres looking to push out this lead. Ball comes to the wing. Long three's no good. And another Ringwood player goes down off the ball, and it's a jump ball. And it'll be Sandringham to take the ball on the baseline.
Rob's gone tall here in the absence of Nola. Watson and Lloyd both on the floor. So let's see if they can nullify the O-board situation that Sandringham has dominated thus far.
And that was just a little bit too easy on that occasion as Alabatis just gets the lobbed inbound play and managed to put it straight up and in, and the lead goes out to 7. So Hawks need to wrestle this back, cannot let it get out of hand, especially with Rebecca Nola looking like she could be in strife for the remainder of this game, as we see Sandringham on the fast break. Kick to the wing, great entry pass, banked in. Terrific play from Mo Light. That was a bullet pass inside and the finish.
Excellent running from the big, straight down the split line as well to create that opportunity deep in the paint.
Goldie thinks about attacking the ring again. Now Lloyd looks to go to Watson, and the reach foul from Badish. A 9-point lead to the Sabres. As we see a substitution on the floor, Badish steps out. That is a second foul. Wood not wanting to risk the third just yet. 5.5 minutes to still play in the second quarter. A long way to go in this one.
Yeah, very true. Not worth the risk at this stage, Sandringham, especially being 9 points up.
So it's been a bit of a grind at the moment as we see a foul, and that will be 2 bonus shots, if I can get the word out, to Ravi Kumar because of the 5 team fouls from Sandringham. And here's a chance for Ringwood just to drag themselves back in this game.
Yeah, it could be a focus for the team now, making sure they create some contacts and bodied, see if they can get that gap closed by icing some free throws.
There's a bit of a lull over the crowd at the moment, just waiting for either team to really explode and take a hold of this game, but it hasn't occurred yet as Ravi Kumar's second shot is short. 8-point ball game, Sandringham come away with it. Once again, they run well in transition, look for that early low post seal, can't get it on this occasion. Hill's been very good, up fake, little pass fake as well, up and under on the right hand. That time it was the $1 million move with the $1 million finish from Cassie Hill. So Pippa Goldie floats one up and in but doesn't go. Once again, that quick transition offense, Hill, extra pass. Unclear as to what Mel Pryor was doing. She probably should have taken a step in. Instead decided to step out, and a great block, and it's a timeout again to Rob Dielmans. Recognising that this last 5 minutes heading into halftime is very crucial. I keep saying that because pretty much every minute in the grand final is crucial.
Well, that's exactly right, Icky. You're not wrong there, but timely timeout, taking a break with his team there for Rob Dielmans, refocus, making sure they don't give up easy buckets like they did the last 2 possessions. Need to lock down their defence a little bit more, making it just that little bit more difficult for Sandringham to get a good look.
So 10 points the difference at this point in Sandringham's favour. And this game just poised, ready for either team to grab it by the throat and really wrestle it into their favour. Sandringham could blow the Hawks away heading into halftime and make it very difficult for them to come back in the second half. So we see Rebecca Nola making her way back to the bench, which is a good sign for the Hawks on this occasion. A bit shaken up, but hopefully she will be able to make her way back out onto the floor.
Very important player for the Hawks, so let's hope she is okay. Can return and make a massive impact in the second half.
So inbound here from Sandringham, once again wanting that low post feed. It's getting physical down underneath the basket. Single digits on the shot clock for the Sabres. 3 is launched, not quite. And a good rebound from Abby Lloyd, and away comes Goldie with the ball. The general on the court for the Hawks. That little hesitation step, didn't get her anywhere on that occasion. Steps into a jump shot, Lloyd, not quite. Watson fighting for the rebound. The Sabres come away with it. A Sandringham player hits the ground. It is getting very physical. Hill, and a foul on Watson, who was probably the only one on the floor that wasn't doing much pushing in the earlier plays, but she's on the receiving end that occasion. As we see a substitution on the floor as Bridget Ardley comes on. Provides some more height and size inside the middle. So they've got 10 seconds on the shot clock as of now. Life looks to go to Hill. No good. 6.
Great defense.
Great defense, as you say. And a very good defensive set from the Hawks. And the crowd lifting and starting to get into the game now. This is what the Hawks need.
Absolutely. Defensive intensity is what they started the game with. It looks like they've found a little bit of that again now. And Piper doing what she does, finding her way into the paint. This time not able to draw contact, but finishes with a nice bank shot.
Step through was delightful on that occasion from Goldie, and it's going to be a double foul, I believe. Abby Lloyd and Mel Pryor, I think you'll find. Yep, it's a double foul for the holding underneath the basket. And Watson got about 10 seconds on the bench, and now she comes back on for Abby Lloyd. So 14 seconds on the shot clock here for the Sabres. They've been pretty good at executing on their baseline plays at the moment. Let's see how this one goes. A lot of players starting high. Once again, Pryor looking to get the seal. That was some solid defense. A triple team came. Pryor got her own rebound after she missed the shot. Kicked the ball out, and the Sabres will reset. Single digits on the shot clock. Life looks to step round 1. Got to get a shot up with 2, with 1. And an out of bounds, and it'll be taken by the Sabres with 1 second on the clock. They need to fill in the centre. And the Hawks gone to a zone by the looks of things, but a quick timeout from Joe Wood. And we see a lot of teams in all the different divisions and competitions go to that zone off an inbound play.
Yeah, it's a smart move because obviously teams have a number of inbound plays they may run to get a look for different players depending on the personnel you got on the floor and the need in that situation. Dropping into a zone 3-2, 2-3 or something other than that just stifles any opportunity players on the floor have to run a set to get the look that they want.
So an 8-point ball game, low scoring as everyone or most people would have expected. 3.5 to play in the second, just 26-18. It's been an exciting ball game. Not as free-flowing as some people might have wanted, but a battle nonetheless.
Expect that to change in the second half. You know, a good break of players, some time with their coaches to go through what's working and what's not working. We expect it to really get going in the second half. Some better conversions, more confidence from the players from both teams.
So just on the surface, it has appeared that the Hawks have locked in on those offensive rebounds, but still the Sabres have managed to execute in other areas of their game. And I don't believe there's been 1 3-point field goal made yet to start this game through a quarter and a half.
Spot on there, Hickey, which is probably unusual for both of these teams. Sandringham have quite a potent offence, or are well known for their offence across the youth and women's season. And Ringwood have a number of girls out there, Nahara and Nola, that can definitely knock down a triple, so unusual.
Tough right-hand finish, good rebound. And it is an out-of-bounds call. Ringwood will take it. So good hustle on that occasion from Bridget Ardley. Sounds like she's got a few fans in the crowd as well, being very vocal whenever she gets near the ball.
Absolutely.
So not much movement from Ringwood, and they've got to get the ball in. Log pass, turnover. So great defense on that occasion from Sandringham, but it was just a lack of movement. They run transition very well, but Goldie with the double hand tap away. Ravi Kumar probably thought about pulling up. Goes to Watson, now to Goldie. Great rip baseline. That is an excellent play. Textbook stuff from Piper Goldie on that occasion. Back to 6 points.
Little fake look to reverse the ball. Player fell for it, gave her the baseline. You spoke about it earlier, Hickey. Coaches hate players defensively allowing guys or girls to dribble baseline. It creates too much of an opportunity. So no doubt Joe would be pretty unhappy with those baseline opportunities that Hawks have created.
As we see, a travel call went on an absolute journey on that occasion. So here we go, the Hawks looking to get a run along, and a chant coming up, but a turnover just as the side is looking to build momentum, and that is a coach killer on that occasion.
Yeah, miscommunication on that one there, looking to run the wave set. Might have been an opportunity to run back door because of the overplay by defence, but they just didn't make that connection. Great defence again by the Hawks. Good double team in the low post.
So it will be a Sandringham ball on the baseline here. 16 seconds, 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half of the Victorian Youth Championship Women's Grand Final, Game 1. Inbound play, run again for that little baseline screen. Probably could have gone all the way on that occasion. Up fake, pull-up jumper short.
Another air ball.
Both teams really struggling to shoot from any sort of distance. As we see the flick over to Kelly Romas, on-ball screen. Decides to go the opposite way. Good help defense, a brilliant spin, but just couldn't will the ball in on that occasion.
2 minutes, 7 seconds to go. The next basket means an awful lot in terms of momentum or stifling momentum.
So the Sabres kicked. Here we go, three-pointer. No, I'm loading up, ready to get excited for the first three that drops. But they're leaving me hanging at this point.
Yes, I know that one did look good. One of the better attempts from the perimeter from Sandringham. But let's not get too excited, Hickey. Ideally, the first triples want to come from Ringwood.
So as we see Sandringham take a timeout. It's been a long quarter with all these stoppages in play. 4 timeouts taken, I believe.
Yeah.
A couple stoppages in play.
And our injuries added to that, and you're absolutely right. Quite a prolonged period here.
And somehow, as the day's gone on, the temperature's dropped here in the stadium.
Yeah, it's just the way in Ringwood, isn't it?
So 1:53 on the clock. 6-point ball game. The Sabres do have the advantage at this point, but you just feel like Ringwood.
They're gaining momentum, you're right, Hickey. So this is the time, the last minute, 53 seconds for Rob's girls. If they can get it to within a couple, we will have a game and a half after the half-time break.
A very, I think, tactical and important timeout that occasion from Joe Wood.
Yeah. Stop that momentum that Ringwood seem to be building, although haven't capitalised necessarily.
So once again, that token up-court pressure, but this occasion it's a little bit more than token. As we say, they really don't want the ball to get into Goldie's hands, but Ringwood get it there on this occasion. So down to 12 on the shot clock. Great finish. And Romas has really been attacking on that left hand, and she gets that one to go through traffic.
It's a great finish. Took contact from that big stepping across his help defence. Probably lucky Sandringham didn't get called for the and one opportunity.
So 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Badish looks to go to work. Double team comes immediately. 3-point shot is short once again. And away comes Goldie, and away come the Ringwood Hawks.
I like the focus there from Rob Dielemans to change up his defence on that low post entry with the guard on that strong side digging. Given the poor opportunities that Sandringham have had from the perimeter, it could be the gamble that actually pays off.
Great block from Courtney Munn on that occasion as Romas looked to go again on the left hand. But then an air ball, it must be about the 5th or 6th, shared between the two teams.
Yeah, easily there, Hickey. 45 seconds to go. Nice pick and roll play. Ardley just couldn't get her hand on that delivery.
So under a minute to go, 43.7 seconds as you see the ball inbounded for Sandringham. Chance for potentially a 2-for-1 on this occasion. We'll see how they play it. The pressure and defense has been good for the Hawks, but they got lost on that occasion. Another short shot from mid-range. Both teams struggling to shoot the ball from outside the paint. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Great pass. Badish, strong, finished. Very good. How about the pass from Morgan Riley on that occasion as we see 12 seconds to go. Let's see what Ringwood can create. It's a 6-point ball game. 8. Dealman's telling Watson to clear out. 5, 4. Goldie attacks. Floaters not good, and Sandringham will grab the defensive rebound. So after 20 minutes of play here in Game 1 of the Victorian Youth Championship Women's Grand Final Series, it is the Sandringham Sabres, the visitors. They lead 28-22 as we see the players head into the sheds. We're going to have a quick break here for you, and we'll come back with all the halftime stats as we get closer to the start of the second half. Hello and welcome back to the Rings for Game 1, second half of Game 1 of the Victorian Youth Champ Women's Final. It's 28-22. We've got a special guest here with us, coach of the Champ Men, Ken Harrington, here to provide some comments. Kenny, how have you seen the first half?
Hey, Dr. Smooth, it's good to be here. It's been it's been a bit of a struggle, hasn't it? I think, turnovers have been killing the Hawks. And probably some defensive transition stuff is an area we need to improve on. If we cover those things, I still think we're a really good chance to win the game. I think it's going to be close. Grand finals, they're always a bit of a struggle. Physical battle, guys, or girls in this case, diving on the floor, trying to generate something for their team. But, mate, I think it's going to come down to a 2 or 4 point game when it's all said and done.
It is the first year that the youth divisions for the youth champ divisions have had the best of 3 series. Do you think that will have any effect here in the second half or in the game to the players' thinking?
Yeah, mate. Look, Matty, that's a really good point. I mean, you don't win the championship today. You've got to win 2. So regardless of whether you win or lose, it's a different ball game next week. Now, there's been, and I can tell you from experience, teams have lost. Teams have won on the road, then gone home for 2 games and lost 2 in a row. Because, one team has a week to make adjustments. They make those adjustments, they bring them Saturday night, they work, and then there's no time for the next team to make adjustments, and you find that Game 3s are remarkably similar to Game 2, and you can pinch your championship. Not to say that's going to happen here. I mean, these are 2 pretty good teams, and they're both well coached, but... I guess what I'm saying is if you don't win today, it's not the end of the world. You're still alive and you've still got a chance.
Thank you very much there, Kenny. Some very insightful comments there from you. Thanks for coming up and joining us here at halftime.
Now, can I get you boys something to eat? What would you like to eat?
Potato cake, bit of chicken salt will do me very fine.
All right, boys, I'm on it. Enjoy the second half.
All right, will do. Thanks there to Ken Harrington from the State Champ Men. He's the coach here at Ringwood. We'll run you through some halftime stats as I'm joined back by Russell Lee. So for Ringwood, leading their scoring is Piper Goldie at the moment. She's got 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Also on the floor, Nahira Ravikumar's got 6 points. She has been very good. 4 rebounds to Rachel Watson. She is the leader in their count. They're shooting just 28.6% from the field though. For the Sabres, well, it's been a mix again of scoring. You've got Cassie Hill, who's come off the bench for 9 points. She's been very good. 6 to Ella Badish, and then you've got 4 to Melissa Pryor. And they were shooting mid-30s, I believe, at quarter time. Now they're just shooting 28.9%. As we said earlier, no side able to make a 3-pointer, 0 of 10 at the moment. And kept up their offensive rebound. They slowed a little bit, but still 17 of their 35 rebounds for the Sabres have been offensive.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Hickey. Ken talked about turnovers, which I do believe have had an impact, especially Sandringham being able to convert as they take the ball away from Ringwood. There's 2 damning stats on the sheet in front of us. That is the number of field goals attempted by Sandringham being 45 to Ringwood's 28. They cannot continue on that run. In addition, the rebounds, which we've been talking about for most of the first half, in particular the O-boards, but 35 total rebounds for Sandringham versus 19 for Ringwood. Almost double. So that needs to change.
100% correct on that occasion as we restart this game. Watson goes hard to the right hand, tough finish, and the Sabres claim another board and away they come. Looking to drive hard to the left hand, but couldn't make it on that occasion. Sabres down to just 12 on the shot clock now. Good defensive pressure again from the Ringwood Hawks. Single digits. Looking to create something. Nice drive to the left. One hand push pass was good. Badish couldn't finish. Got her own ball back and then airballed the way up.
Yeah, I think she wasn't expecting to get her hands on that again. It was a bit of a stunned response.
Ravi Kumar almost lost the ball coming up the floor, so a bit of rust being worked off here to start the second half. Lobbed ball over to Ravi Kumar, down to single digits for the Hawks. They don't mind this though. She can create. Little pass, not so good to Watson. 3, 2, got to go up. Did get up, but it was an air ball and away it come the Sabres.
Yeah, a little bit rushed as the clock wound down there, but hopefully they can get a defensive stop here.
And there we go. That was a 2 3-point basket made by the Sabres. Out to an 8-point ball game. On-ball screen from Watson. She looks to roll. Couldn't get the ball. Here's Ravi Kumar. Lloyd sets the screen for her. Step back jump shot. Decides not to pull the trigger. Lloyd gets a great seal.
Excellent seal.
Couldn't finish, and those ones are going to come back to hurt the Hawks.
Great seal there by Badish, but unfortunately the help defence came from Nahara, and it looks like she's committed the foul. Badish to the line here.
So both sides getting some good opportunities, but once again, neither able to really take advantage of their chances at this point. Badish will head to the line to shoot 2. She nails the first.
Always a big help when your forwards and centres can knock down free throws at the percentage that Batish is. And 2 from 2 there.
So away come the Ringwood Hawks now. Once again going that left-hand roam. It's a fantastic pass, but how about the block from behind from Kim Rennie? She's yet to really heavily feature in this game at the moment, but that was a great bit of play. She comes to set the on-ball screen now. Little hesitation, up and under. One-hand bullet pass again on that occasion from Riley. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Riley, I believe the foot was on the line too, and then racing over the top, Kim Rennie. So Rennie does have 7 rebounds in this game, but just the 2 points. That block was big, though, from behind. Manu Ginobili-esque in that final series, if anybody remembers that watching at home.
No doubt about it. Margin back to 10. Really important possessions here for Ringwood. Need to get it back to single digits.
Goldie once again attacking the rim, and she finishes. She's been doing well inside the paint there.
Great left-hand finish at the rim there.
So once again, this defensive pressure, some good talk on that occasion from Romas. Got a hand in there, down to 10 seconds on the shot clock, and a push. It's a charge. It's going to be a Ringwood Hawks ball. Well, that is a little surprising. It did look like Lloyd made the contact, but she draws the foul.
I think there was evidence for it to go either way there, Hickey.
And it's actually, the umpires have made a mistake, and it's going to go against the Hawks, and it's a Sandringham ball. So a little bit of confusion here. So the Sabres kick across, low post entry. Bash been in there for a long time. Got triple team, couldn't finish. Ravi Kumar, hand off to Goldie, once again attacking the left, but floats it up on the right hand, couldn't get the roll that occasion, and the Sabres will come away with it. Nobody stopping the ball on that occasion. Great little cross and rip to the right hand, and then just jacked a left hand shot without even leaving the ground. And Romas came away with the steal. Goldie looking to attack. Ravi Kumar, I think she thought about letting that ball fly. Doesn't do it in the end. Dances around the on-ball screen.
It's the same thought you had when you catch the ball at the three-point line, isn't it, Matt Hickey?
As we see it, and the and one play from Kelly Romas, getting the crowd into it. You're probably right, Russell. Need to get that J.R. Smith mentality, just let that thing fly.
Yeah, certain players I'd be in agreement with you.
And one of them sitting right next to you. Lucky for that, eh?
I'm sure that's what you think, not necessarily what goes through the coaching staff. Minds at the time.
Romas cannot convert the and one play. 6-point ball game, so the Hawks have brought it back after it ballooned out to 10. Badish just up fake, left hand floater, as easy as you like. Some good mobility there from Badish.
Excellent finish there.
And this game just opening up a little bit now. We knew it would happen. Goldie again on the left hand. She gets it back from Romas. 10 seconds on the clock. Looks to spin. No foul call. Potentially one on the arm. Watson got the rebound but lost control, and then it's a tough foul. Watson's been on the end of some tough calls at this point. As we see a substitution on the floor. On steps Megan Rogauskas and Kate Budgeon for the Sandringham Sabres.
Ringwood looking to push their defence up the floor now. To no avail as Sandringham get it up with ease to Badish, and they're running a lot of their sets through her at the moment. Nice drive, just could not finish, didn't have quite the finesse on that occasion.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody smile as much as Badish does, even after she misses the shot. She just seems to be enjoying herself out there, no matter what happens out on the floor, which is good to see.
Absolutely. If you're not enjoying your basketball, then you probably need to reassess what you're doing.
A three-pointer. Can we get one? No. Oh. Well, if you were playing AFL, that would be up for Mark of the Year, but in basketball, you cannot quite do that.
A great athleticism there by Rennie, but just not within the confines of the rules, unfortunately.
Bit of Taylor Harris from the women's AFL in that mark. But we will see Ringwood take the ball. 3 team fouls each, so no real discrepancy there. A couple more either way, and it will be bonus 2 for the opposition team. So once again, left-hand drive from Romas, rolls it in. Gee, they've been playing very well attacking that left hand. And now the crowd really getting into it. Can they build some momentum, Hawks? They haven't led all game. There's a bit of contact off the ball. A block shot, Badish fakes inside out. Maybe a travel. Another rebound for the Sabres. Physical. Everything's happening now. Down to 10 seconds. Kick out. Badish jump shot. Got it to go. And this game is heating up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, heartbreaking for the Hawks there. Their defence was excellent. Couldn't quite get their hands on the defensive rebound. And the patience and efforts of Sandringham resulted in a nice short corner jump shot there from Badish. She's doing it all.
Romas attacks the paint well, but gave one up that she probably didn't need to. Here come the Sabres. They've been pretty good in transition. Kick out, three-pointer, doesn't look at it. Riley pulls up left hand. Jay's good. Making some shots from distance. And no surprises, the coach Rob Dielmans decides it's time for a little bit of a break because the Sabres are on a roll. Equal highest lead of the game, out to 10 points yet again. And the worrying sign for the Hawks is we have not seen Rebecca Nola make her way out onto the court again.
Yeah, very true. In addition to all of a sudden Sandringham knocking down perimeter shots, which we failed to see either team make across the first half, the last thing the Hawks need is for the Sabres to have those shots being made and that momentum and confidence gaining around the perimeter.
So just under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It is the Sabres by 10 points. Now if they can claim this win away from home, it's going to be very hard for the Ringwood Hawks to win 2 games back-to-back next weekend in Sandringham.
Yeah, difficult place to play down at Sandringham. Nice gym, but with a full crowd in their stands, it's a pretty confronting place to play.
On top of you, they feel like they're on top of you if you can get a big crowd there.
That's exactly right. Intimidating, to say the least.
What do you think the message would be from Rob Dielmans heading into that timeout?
Well, I think at this stage it's about focus. Teams go on runs. It's about weathering the storm, going back to playing good, hard-nosed, man-to-man defence, which we've seen in patches from the Hawks, and to trust their offence, keep attacking the rim and not settle for jump shots, which I believe that they are doing. New faces out there for Ringwood.
So here they come, the Ringwood Hawks. Tropiano on the court, as well as Ardley. Here's Ardley with the ball now. On-ball screen. Look for the player coming off the off-ball. Down to just 7 seconds now. Goes to Watson, but it's a loose ball. Not a great pass from Romas. And away come the Sabres. Great lob pass, in some trouble, and there's a foul. One that they probably didn't need to give away because she was probably going to run out of bounds. And as I spoke just about a minute ago that Nola hadn't made her way back on the court, here she comes.
Yeah, exciting times for the Hawks. Let's see if she can have a massive impact. Hopefully she'll bring that first 3-point shot you're looking for, Hickey, as she is no doubt well known as a perimeter shooter.
Something that runs in the family, in the Nola family. You can tell from the first-hand experience. But it'll be interesting to see how Rebecca comes out here, whether she'll be aggressive. As we see another air ball. Here comes defense. Rebecca Nola. Oh, might have been tempted to pull the trigger.
Mismatch inside with Ardley. They just haven't found the opportunity to give it to her yet.
Coach Joe Wood making sure that Sandringham show a hand when Rebecca Nola catches the ball on the perimeter. Down to 5 seconds. 4 pull-up jumpers short. And the Sabres will take it away, and good job not to foul there, Ringwood. Would have sent the Sabres to the line. Low post entry, big mismatch. Too easy. Cassie Hill, she's been excellent today. A crucial part of the Sabres team at this point, and now the biggest lead of the game. It's a 12-point margin. Ball out to Nola at the top. The reversal across. Once again inside down to 8. Nola thought about the 3. Goes that right to left crossover. And there's a hand check foul. And it'll be a side ball for the Ringwood Hawks. .220 left in the third quarter. 12 points. If this margin gets any further out, it's going to be a tough task for the Hawks to hold themselves back in.
Yeah, single digits has got to be the focus for the Hawks going into the fourth. So let's see if they can get a couple of conversions with some stops in the last 2:19.
Inbound play here, run for the Hawks. Keep an eye on Rebecca Nola in this play. There she is. Low post feed. Goes to Ardley. Great pass, great cut. Left hand shot got blocked. And there's a foul, and it may be a tough call. It did look like it was a bit of a reckless movement from the Sabres there directly into the Hawks player. It's Rogowskis who draws the foul, and I think she'll go to the line to shoot too. They are in the bonus.
Yeah, unlucky for the Hawks there. Great attempt at the rim, just couldn't get a finish going, and as they swamped the ball on the defensive rebound for the Sabres, come away with a foul.
So a chance to push it out to an even bigger lead. Misses the first one though. Silence over the crowd as she makes the second. And once again, we have a new biggest lead of the game, out to 13 points now, and away come the Ringwood Hawks. They need something on the offensive end at the moment. They haven't yet found it. Double off the ball screen that occasion, then there's another one. Here comes one on the ball. Romas attacking on the left hand, kicks to the corner. Shot doesn't go off. Nice crossover. 3, 2, 1. And a shot clock violation, no awareness. The Ringwood bench was very silent.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you need your bench to do for the players on the floor, is be screaming at the clock and letting their teammates know when the shot has to go up. Rob will be disappointed with his girls there.
Goldie back on the floor. She only had a quick rest. So it's a 13-point ball game. Maybe a bit of a zone here from the Ringwood Hawks. Down into a 2-3. Riley with the crossover. Once again, oh, that is just lucky. I don't know what Cassie Hill was doing. She had a wide open shot, decided to try and dribble out and travel.
Don't think she was expecting to get the ball there, Hickey, on a deflection off the backboard. After good defence from Ringwood, she just had it in her hands and panicked a little bit because there were 2 Ringwood Hawks players turning around and engulfing her in defence.
If she knew that one was coming, she should probably go out and buy a lottery ticket.
Absolutely.
Because that would be some impressive work. So it's a 13-point ball game, a minute 23 on the clock here at the Rings. All to play for game 1 of the Grand Final Series. Best of 3, first time, as we mentioned earlier, for the Youth Championship division. And a really important last 120. I keep finding myself saying it, but it really is for the Hawks. If this lead gets out to 15, it's going to be very hard to draw it back, considering the low-scoring nature of this game.
It is the cliche that every minute is really important in a game. Every score is really important, especially in a Grand Final Series. Although 13 points is quite a margin at the moment. Don't be surprised. You know, every team has their runs and can challenge, and boy, have we seen some upsets across our divisions during finals action.
So quick score check for those watching at home in the Victorian Youth Champ Men. Game 1 of their grand final series as well between Nuttawin and Kilsyth. That's 14 apiece over there. Remo Simon. I know Remo personally, and he will not be offended by the fact that I can't pronounce his last name. He has 7 points for the Spectres, while Geordie Adnam has 8 for the Kilsyth Cobras in that game. But back here to the rings. Open 3, decided not to shoot it. I just want to get up and about for a 3-point made basket.
Here one comes.
Here it goes. Not quite. As I start to rise out of my chair, but nothing happens on that occasion. I'll sit back down. Under a minute to play here in the third. Easy as you like. Great find and a great shot that occasion from Megan Rogowskis. 15 points. Another biggest lead of the game. This game could get out of hand here for the Hawks. The Sabres are performing well. Nola thought about the shot. Right to left crossover. That's surely a kicked ball.
Not according to the referee. 6 left on the shot clock, and Nahara steps back in.
There was a bit of Steph Catley, who's a Matilda in that one. Just kicked that straight through the uprights. 32 seconds to play here in this third quarter. Probably should have more than 6 seconds on the shot clock, but they do only have 6. Watch this shot go up. It's got to go up. Step back triple, Ravi Kumar, no. And away it comes, Sandringham. Quickly, baseline. Kick across to the top. And that's a travel once again, that lifting the pivot foot as he begin to take off.
Yeah, I don't think there was any question on that one. It was a travel, and we heard it from the crowd as well. Let's see what the Hawks can do here. We need some quality sets, some quality looks to close that gap, get some confidence.
So they will have the last shot of this quarter unless they rush it. Romus, tough shot, no good. Don't foul, Ringwood. 3, 2, 1. Stepping left-hand floater, not quite. It is a 15-point ball game. Heading into this final quarter of the game 1 of the Youth Champ Women Grand Final Series. We'll have a 2-minute break here before the players get back into it, and we'll run through some quick stats for you here at home. Cassie Hill out to 11 points. That's an impressive effort from her. 28 to 43 the score. Goldie's got 10 points for the Ringwood Hawks as well as 3 rebounds and 2 assists. More for the Sabres. Badish has 12. She's performed brilliantly. 8 rebounds as well. That's a big performance. And you'll know that if you watch BigV TV, they knew that was going to be a big matchup between Badish and Watson. And despite Watson potentially winning it early on, Badish has come through and been very consistent through 3 quarters.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 6 to 15 quarter there in favour of the Sabres. That's going to do a lot of hurt Ringwood going to the last term. They need to find the bottom of that net. Shooting only 25% from the field, 11 of 43. Still no 3-point shot, as you mentioned, Hickey, from either side in this game. That could play a factor. Some big shots from any of the girls at the Ringwood side will close that gap quickly and give them the confidence hopefully they need. 62 field goal attempts to Ringwood's 43. That remains to be a massive factor in the game, as well as the rebound count, 51 to Sandringham versus 26 to Ringwood.
Double in the rebound count, and you cannot win games when you're getting beaten by that much in the rebound count.
Oh, I'm glad to hear you say that, Hickey, because I'm sure I say that in the rooms an awful lot to you boys, so I'm glad something's sinking in.
Potentially before every game, maybe. I think that's the first thing written on the board.
Yeah, usually.
So we enter the final quarter, and Ringwood need to make a move at this point. Dealmans has gone with a very aggressive lineup. Parnaby out on the floor. She's more than happy to attack and be aggressive at the ring. The Sabres will start with it. They have a chance to push it out to more than 15 points if they can get a score here. Lock yourselves in for hopefully what's an exciting finish. It was a tough call. I'm not sure if the ref was quite in the right position to see that one, but Sandringham will earn it. Cassie Hill looking for the low post seal. Didn't come. Down to just 13 on the shot clock. They finally get it to Hill. Not bad defense from Parnaby, and that's a late bailout call from the umpire.
Very late bailout call. I don't think Rob looks too impressed with that one.
One of those ones where if it goes in, I doubt they would have called it, but if it misses, they do call it, which some people agree with. I'm not personally one of them, but well.
Yeah,
Hill misses the first.
I tend to agree with you, Hickey, there. It's either a foul or it's not. So call what's there and get on with the game.
So just 6 points from the Ringwood Hawks in that third quarter. Cannot be scoring single digits to win a grand final game. Out to 16 points. And there's a tough call. It was probably there, but that is the second offensive foul moving screen called on Parnaby.
Unfortunately, I think it was there. Parnaby's lent into that screen and unfortunately illegal, so she's copped the offensive foul as such.
So a bit of a tussle out of bounds, and it will remain a Sandringham ball.
Parnaby's out of the game. We welcome back
Abby Lloyd, I believe.
Number 13, Abby Lloyd. Oh, miscommunication there from
Here we
Sandringham.
go. And these are the cheap points that Ringwood need. I thought for a second that I put the mocker on her, but it rolled in. And a turnover again, so here come the Hawks, here come the crowd.
Yeah, great finish there by Piper, good anticipation, and then in the midst of it, Sandringham misconnected on another pass, throwing it straight out of bounds, giving Ringwood another chance at offence.
And there was little to no pressure from the Hawks either, as we see Lloyd, and geez, that hurts. Just as they're looking to get a run along, Lloyd loses the ball out of bounds.
Unforced error there. Had the opportunity to go to work in the low post, but unfortunately not meant to be. Full court pressure here by Ringwood.
Pressing up on the ball, looking to take some time off the clock, and there was a loose pass, but it got there in the end. Great drive baseline, we've spoken about it. Cassie Hill wide open, 2 points, and it's been the killer for the Hawks. Whenever Sandringham have got baseline, they've managed to put points on the board.
Must force that ball middle to avoid enabling that weak side big to have an impact.
And Rebecca Nola, just as casual as you like, decided to go right, left, and then back to the right. But again, transition points killing the Hawks. There's a couple times where they've been caught napping after a score, and the Sabres have just got out the back, and it looks like they're going into staying in a man-to-man. Looked like they were setting up in a zone, the Sandringham Sabres. Can we finally get one? Bang! There it was. I've been waiting all day, and finally Callie Romas nails the triple. Here we go.
Crowd getting excited by that. You can hear the banging of the shed in the background.
And straight away, just like they've done all game, the Sabres come down, this time through Budgeon, and silence the crowd. Great kick. Abby Lloyd shouldn't miss that one, doesn't. And now, as we predicted, the game has opened up a little bit.
All about defensive stops now here for Ringwood. We cannot allow poor defensive transitions and easy buckets.
Oh, misses a point blank shot there from Isabel Shea, and here come the Hawks. Ravi Kumar down to Nola, back across to Goldie at the top. Right hand drive. Nola's in the corner. Can we get another one? Oh!
Halfway down there, Hickey.
And I was up out of my chair, but it doesn't go.
Did everything but go down that shot.
And banging on the walls now from Ringwood. They're trying to get their team up and about. The Sabres have answered at every turn. Not on this occasion, but an offensive rebound. An air ball, layup, and then they draw the foul. It's getting loud out here at the rings.
Love the energy and intensity, but we now need to start getting some conversions here. 13-point deficit, 7:07 to go. The Hawks have to find the bottom of the net. Defensive stops are important, but they mean nothing unless you can close the gap.
And you've done well to only pull out the we for the first time with 7 minutes to go in the final quarter, Russell. Good effort from you to hold off for that long.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you, Hickey.
As we see the Sabres come away with it. Cassie Hill, she's been excellent today. Life. Oh, that was quick.
Great block.
Great block or deflection, I'm unclear. looked like Lyth was going to pass the ball, but Watson came across and made sure that that ball was going nowhere.
Weak side help, very, very good. Expect Sandringham to go backish pretty hard here now that she's checked back into the game. She's been a massive focal point of their offence thus far.
Drive, right-hand hook shot, no good, and the Hawks come away with it. The bench is up, the crowd is up. Can they follow through? Oh, that was another almost lost ball from Ravi Kumar. Nola looking to draw a player, now goes to Goldie. Great pass to Watson amongst the trees, somehow got it off. Goldie now dribbles through about 5 players, Steve Nash style. Watson with the rebound, now out to Goldie, got to shoot it. Apparently they got it off. Wood wasn't pleased.
Shot clock has expired there, but did not hear the siren at all. Referee's unaware.
Didn't matter in the end because the Hawks could not take advantage. 13-point ball game. Cassie Hill looks to go baseline. Great cut, but that is a tough call.
Very tough call there.
He had a better angle than I did, but that looked very, very clean. Watson called for the foul. That is her 4th personal, which could hurt them down the stretch. As we see Nola take a break and Romas comes on. It'll be 2 shots from Isabel Shea. Talk between the umpires. I think it was about the previous play and the shot clock potentially not going off. Through a quarter and 30 seconds over on the men's side of the game, and it's the Kilsyth Cobras who lead away from home 29-20. They have been led brilliantly by Geordie Adnam.
He has been in fine form, Jordan, for the Cobras in that last part of the season. Unsurprising that he's leading the way today in Game 1 of the Victorian Youth Championship men.
In 10 minutes there, he has 10 points. 3 assists and 2 rebounds, which is pretty impressive. Back to this one, out to 14 points, 2 from 3. That is important free throw shooting. Substitution on the floor. Hill will come off, Pryor on. 15-point ball game. Under 6 minutes to go, and the Hawks have to make a move now. Goldie waiting to try and keep some time off the clock before she picked it up. Lloyd now drives left. It opened up, drew some contact, and it'll be 2 free throws. Definitely a foul on that occasion from this angle.
Good execution offensively. Pushing the ball, swinging it back, allowing that lane to the bucket, and let's hope the Hawks can get some more looks like that.
So Abby Lloyd to the line to shoot 2. Nails the first. Free throw's going to be super important for both teams down the stretch. Neither close to the bonus yet, but I'm sure as the game and this quarter goes on, it will no doubt get into that kind of situation. Once again, some up-court pressure from the Hawks. Got to put pressure on. There's the trap in the corner. That's where they wanted it, but it got it away to Pryor. Extra kick, and Lyth now has it at the top. Handoff was good. Down to 10 seconds. It's been good pressure from the Hawks. Can the Sabres bail themselves out? Lyth, great up and under move. Ball to travel.
Unlucky there for the Sabres. That looked like a good patient held ball and then a step through, but not what the referee saw on the floor.
And this Lyth-Goldie battle is going to be intriguing as the game goes on. Goldie gets in, kicks out to Romas, now to Ravi Kumar. It's really lighted up from deep. She tried to split the double team, and it was a travel call. She's had a tough day at the office here. As we see, substitution on the floor. Shea comes out, and Morgan Riley steps in. Just over 5 minutes to play.
Rob Dillman signalling his girls to make sure they maintain that full court pressure. See if they can get some cheap steals and easy transitional buckets.
Riley's been good at distributing the ball, but the Hawks were very happy to get up and in her face on that occasion. Ravi Kumar knocks the ball out of bounds. Lyth, screen from Pryor. Kicked over to the 45. Back to Lyth, now to Badish, thinking about the 3. Decides against it. I don't think she was ever going to shoot it, but it did the job. She sold it enough. Got to the left hand and finished with the layup. Out now, back to 15 points.
Excellent move there by Badish. If your centre can accomplish that, you're a dangerous team offensively.
Goldie,
Catching it on the
great
three-point
pass.
line.
Lloyd finishes back to 13, but the Hawks cannot afford to go basket for basket here. The Sabres will be happy to do it. They've played well all game, just came up with shots when they've needed to. Great move from Life, maybe a foul. It was, and one. That is a big play, and it could very well suck the life out of the Ringwood Hawks in this stadium.
Yeah, unfortunately, Goldie is really struggling. She's played bulk minutes, and unfortunately just did not have the legs to stay in front there, falling for that fake left as her player went right.
So a timeout on the floor for Rob Dealmans. About 4.5 minutes left to play, and it is a 15-point ball game, 56-41. And the Sabres will have a chance to push it out to 16 at the free throw line. Ringwood competing in this quarter, but they just cannot afford to go basket for basket, Russell.
No, they cannot. At 4:24 to go, they have to, as you put earlier in the piece, have to make a move. It's to stop the bleeding offensively through elevated defensive stops and pressure, and to maybe have a look at a few more of those three-point shots that they're passing up, that you are being very, very hopeful to see there, Hickey.
So shooting percentage is slightly improved for the Hawks. They're up to 30%, which still isn't great. The Sabres 33%, but the Sabres have attempted 72 shots, 20 more than the Hawks, and that rebound count is 30 to Ringwood. And would you believe, a mammoth 56 to the Sabres, 26 differential. All in all, it's actually quite remarkable that the Hawks are still within a sniff. You just get the feeling that they're not done with yet, despite shooting 20 shots less than the opposition and getting well and truly beaten on the rebounds. As we see, Life makes it a 16-point ball game. It's been their defensive pressure which has done them well here in this game, but it hasn't been enough because they need to put points on the board. Goldie right-hand shot. Gee, she finishes well inside.
Absolutely, and that's why she's been a feature on the state champ women's roster this year.
Triple team, almost a quadruple team loose ball, and it's Ringwood's ball.
Good pressure there by the Hawks. Another quick conversion required here.
Mel Pry's been battling inside. Here come the Hawks, once again wanting to get on with it quickly. Nola might think about jacking that, does, off back iron. Really would have been a nice basket for Ringwood.
Out of court.
Yes, and they've called it. Good spot from you, Russell. Maybe the umpire should listen to you more when you're on the sideline and tell them what you think about their call, mate.
I always agree with the referees, Hickey. I don't know what you're talking about. They do a great job in every game. They make the right call. They've got a far better vantage point than us at most points throughout a game.
Very well said from you there. As we see, Rebecca Nola knocks down 2, cuts the lead to 12. And as we said, it's game on, but in defensive transition, they've struggled. And the Sabres answer back straight away. It's just too easy. At what point do the Hawks really start letting it fly from deep? As I say that, Ravi Kumar tries to let one go, doesn't drop. It's been the story of the game for both teams from distance. Pressure's up. Lyth, she's been good in this last quarter. Couldn't drop that.
Unbalanced jump shot there.
Ravi Kumar, potentially was out of bounds. And potentially out of bounds again. Roma's happy to pull the trigger. And that, my friends, is an air ball. Substitution on the floor. As we see Chloe Hicks step on. Mo Lyth comes off. She's been excellent. Under 3 minutes to go. Looking to double the ball, and it came out. Ravi Kumar. Great finish, Romas. Got to stay up here, the Ringwood Hawks. Cannot afford a foul. The other team will go to the bonus here. The Sabres will go to the line if they foul again. Doing well in the backcourt, just got it over with 1 second to spare. Being made to really work, but the clock is against the Hawks now. Jump shot's good. They answer back. Morgan Riley goes bang.
Sandringham have been excellent from the perimeter in this second half as that confidence has continued to rise. A little bit more focused and settled in this grand final series, and they have knocked down open shots.
As we see, Goldie missed a shot. It's becoming a bit of a loose game now. Ravi Kumar spins, goes to Goldie. Must have thought about the shot. Decides not to let the triple fly, as we see potentially the bench coming on for Ringwood. Dealmans looks like he may have seen enough.
It looks that way. 1:47 left in the game, 14 points down. Opportunity to get some of his younger girls some game time, rest his starters ready for next week's game 2.
So, yeah, the bench looking to be emptied for Ringwood here. A minute and a half to go. They trail by 14. Just haven't been able to put points on the board, given too many opportunities. Touch pass. That was pretty. But Badish couldn't finish, and yet another offensive rebound as the Sabres come away. Deep 2. No. Good attempt from Loy to grab the rebound, and there is a foul called on Badish. It did look like there was one.
Over the top on that one, so right call there by the referee. Good job by the Ringwood starters as they check out of the game. And whilst they may be disappointed, as Ken pointed out at half-time, this is only game 1 of a 3-game series, and anything can happen as you put those adjustments in during the week. So expect a different and refocused Ringwood team heading into game 2 of the series next Saturday night at Sandringham.
And just like the shooting today, the temperature continues to somehow drop in this stadium. As we see the Sabres come away with it. Under a minute to play now, so it's no doubt in the book. Next weekend we will see game 2 on Saturday at Sandringham, and game 3, if necessary, on the following day at Sandringham as well. As we see, this is a good opportunity for some Ringwood Hawks youngsters to get some minutes and time on the biggest stage of them all. Romas thought about it, goes left, flicks it up with the right, tough shot, got her own rebound. Kicks over to the wing. Can we see another 3? Not quite. Badish with the rebound. 20 seconds. You would assume that the Sabres will just dribble it out, and they will take a 1-zip lead away from home here, making it very, very difficult indeed for the Ringwood Hawks. They will have to travel. They'll have to win 2 games on the road as the Sabres dribble the ball out. And that is all she wrote for game 1 of this grand final series for Victorian Youth Championship Women. It is the Sandringham Sabres who take a 61-47 win, and now will go back home and have 2 opportunities, if they need to win that game. Thoughts on that, Russell Lee?
Yeah, look, there's no doubt that in a game 1 best of 3 series, the Hawks will be a little bit down and out on their home floor, not playing as they probably would have hoped, being outdone in terms of field goal attempts and on the boards. But Rob's job now is to refocus his girls ready and to prepare for next weekend's double header, if required. Of course, game 3 on the Sunday, game 2 Saturday night. They'll have to work at training, make those adjustments, focus on blocking out, maybe trying some other things defensively, especially battling that high-low situation with Badish. And as you kept pointing out, Cassie Hill coming off the bench was huge for Sandringham today, nullifying their impact heading into next weekend.
So an impressive performance from the Sabres. We'll just run you through some full-time stats as they come off for all those that are watching at home. So 61-47 the end score. For the Sabres, Ella Badish had 14 points. She was very impressive. 14 and 13. That's a big double-double. The Hawks will need to do something to limit her in games 2 and possibly 3. As Russell just mentioned, Cassie Hill off the bench in just 17 minutes managed to knock down 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Very impressive from her. As a team, they only shot 32.5% from the field, but managed to let go 80 field goals, which was impressive. Won the rebound count, the Sabres 66-34, which is just huge. We look over to Ringwood's side of things. It was a tough day at the office. They shot just 30% on 63 shots. Goldie had 14 points with 4 assists and 3 rebounds. 11 points to Kelly Romas with 5 rebounds, but had 17 turnovers and as we said, struggled to rebound the basketball. They did slow the Sabres in the second half on the offensive rebounds. Sabres ended up with 25, but still you'd have to think that is far too many in that game. Your final thoughts, Russell, after what we've just seen?
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot for Ringwood to work on and focus on during the week. There's no doubt that Sandringham dominated that game offensively, although didn't get the conversion rate they might have hoped, and on those boards. Other stats that jump out at me: bench points for Sandringham, 34, so proved to be a much deeper team today than Ringwood, who only supplied 6 points off the bench. So, yeah, that'll be something they need to rectify. As Rob makes his rotations, hopefully he'll get more from the players that are coming off the pine.
Very well put indeed from you there, Russell. Thank you for joining me here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you if you tuned in at home. Hopefully we will have your attention and have your viewership, which is, I think, a term Adam Gilchrist coined that I like to use, your viewership in some other final series. Good luck to the Youth Champ women, both teams, as they go on. And have a good afternoon here on your Sunday.
Yeah, thanks, Icky. Nice to be here with you.